your Serie entertainment experience. I'm Sir Angelo, and this is your round 3 of Serie recap. Let's get into it. Solo versus Crotone. Solo win 4-1. Caputo scored a double. Also, Mr. Locatelli scores, and Berardi. Crotone in this game were looking for their first points of the season, and they weren't successful. Yes, in this game they played much better than their last 2 games. They had more opportunities, didn't really sit back too much, but still couldn't get the job done because De Zerbi's philosophy of positive football was just too much for the Crotone team. So how did this game look like? At the 19th minute, Berardi with a low ground shot. Didn't even have power in it. And with his incredible left foot accuracy, he was still able to put it in the right corner. The goalkeeper was bad positioned. He was all the way in the left side of the goal. So that ground shot without any power but accuracy on the right, the goalie was never going to get to it. 1-0 for Sassuolo. In this game, Crotone had more shots than Sassuolo, surprisingly. That's why I said that they played a lot better than the previous game. 15 shots to 7 for Crotone. Unbelievable. Crotone hit the woodwork in the first half. And with all those 15 shots, Senso's defense was able to defend it properly. They were able to clear it out when it was necessary, avoid any dangerous plays or any mess-ups. So the first half ends 1-0 in the second half with Crotone. Some point in the second half, Crotone was awarded a penalty. And the Nigerian, at 10 feet tall, Simi puts away the penalty kick to make things 1-1. Then the game after that was a little bit of a stalemate. It looked like Crotone was becoming a little bit sloppy in the midfield and the defense, but it was still canceling out until Crotone's handball in the penalty box gives the opportunity for Caputo to score his first goal of the game, and he did. He puts it away, making things 2-1, and from then on, Crotone's defense did contain Caputo until the 84th minute. Crotone became even more sloppier, and then Caputo, with a breakaway, chips the ball over the goalkeeper to make things 3-1. Caputo, double goals, 2 goals in this game, and he's picking things up where he left off last season with 21 goals. Then again, Crotone still very sloppy in possession. Tried to clear the ball in the box. 3 defenders in 1 clustered area. Locatelli was able to intercept the ball and score in the 3rd minute in stoppage time at the end of the game to make things 4-1. So, Crotone, 0 points in 3 games. They did improve in this 3rd game, but it wasn't enough. It looks like this is a team that's gonna be relegated to the 2nd division. But we'll see if they can improve. So far, they play like that type of team. Sassuolo, undefeated in 3 games, 7 points out of 9. Even without their most dangerous weapon, Boga, the winger. So that's a good thing. 7 points in 3 games. Sassuolo in round 4 have Bologna next, and that's a good sign. They're gonna bring the game to Bologna. Crotone, 0 points in 3 games, and they have Juventus next. I'm predicting a loss for that one, and they'll most likely go 4 games without a win, and they'll definitely be a team that's gonna be regulated. So the most important thing for Crotone is stay together, do things as a group, be united, and fight for survival. Next game, Udinese versus Roma. Roma beats Udinese 1-0 away from home. Pedro scores his first Serie goal with Roma, and it was a Euro goal outside the box. Dzeko in this game missed an opening sitter right in front of goal and blasted it over the goal like he was kicking a field goal for American football. He must be feeling the effects of the mistransfer to Juventus. He's mentally unfit, and it showed this game with his shots. Udinese, in 3 games, they have 0 goals. They haven't scored in Serie A yet. That is just ridiculous. Hopefully, this doesn't continue, because Udinese is an organization that has developed incredible world-class players, such as Alex Sanchez, Handavanic, Benatia. There's a bunch of players, and that's just a few to name. Toto Di Natale. So let's hope they could start scoring and not get regulated. So round 4, Udinese have Parma. Udinese in that game have to score against Parma, and their counterattacks. Parma are definitely going to score against Udinese. Roma with a narrow win, but this is what they were missing last season. That type of player, other than Dzeko, that makes a difference. Makes a goal out of nothing. And that's what Pedro provides Roma. The game against Juventus, Pedro showed his technical ability, his skills. In this game, he showed his winning mentality. After the game, he said that we should be competing for the Scudetto, the league title. Now that's a winner. That's a winner, and that hopefully transmits to the team, so Roma could compete for the Scudetto and make the Serie A race for the Scudetto even more interesting. Roma 4 points in 3 games. Obviously, that first game against Verona, they got disqualified or automatic loss. But if they didn't, that means they would be undefeated and they would have 5 points. But they have 4 points. Roma appeared to struggle a bit when they had to penetrate to the defense. So if they have possession, they have to bring the game in to the opposing team, they have a little difficulty. That means against the smaller clubs. But with the addition of Pedro, that player that makes a difference, it wins a game for a team. And that's what they have this season. This kind of game, last season, they would have lost. So, Roma, for round 4, they have Benevento next. And they shouldn't underestimate Benevento. Benevento is a quality side. They can't compete a game. So Roma shouldn't underestimate them and prepare their game with most focus and the most effort that they could put, like they faced Juventus. Atalanta beats Cagliari 5-2. Atalanta to a perfect start. 9 points in 3 games. 9 out of 9. 13 goals in 3 games. They have the most goals in Serie A. Napoli could have had a say about that, but they've only played 2 as their game was canceled this weekend. In this game, Atalanta had 5 different goal scorers. They had Pulisic, Gomez, Morel, Zapata, and the new signing Lamers. And by the way, he scored a fantastic goal. A Euro goal for sure. World-class goal. Gomez tallies his 4th goal of the season. He leads in the scoring title race. Cagliari, meanwhile, sees their new signing for this game, Godin, his starting debut. He actually scored in this game, but their defense couldn't handle Atalanta. Cagliari, 1.3 games. And Di Francesco's 4-3-3 doesn't seem like it's successful. I would say put wingbacks in with a 3-man defense, but we all know that Godin and that 3-back defense, when he played for Inter, he didn't play too well. So they're in a dilemma, that's for sure. They need more players to attack and stuff like that. Their star, Pedro, last season scored 18 goals. This season, he will be critical for them. He needs to score. He scored his first goal of the season against Cagliari. That's not enough. Cagliari have a struggle. If around 4, they're gonna face a struggling Torino team. That's actually a good sign for Cagliari. So if they beat Torino, they'll boost up a little morale and pick up some points. And the electrifying, the Thunderbolts, Atalanta, the Greek goddess, have a big test in round 4. They take on Napoli. This is going to be an offensive warfare between these two teams. It's going to be definitely an entertaining game for the neutral, and even not the neutral, unless you're an Atalanta fan or a Napoli fan, because it gets nervous when you're watching your team getting pounded with goals. Lazio and Inter draw 1-1. Savic with a goal and El Toro Martinez with a goal. Disappointing game. To be honest, the one I saw, this game I believe was decided from the red card episodes. Lukaku in this game had 2 to 3 chances in the box for a nice shot and target and possibly score. 2-3 shots, at least one of them was going to go in with Lukaku's thunderbolt shots. But what does he do? He shoots them wide. Unbelievable. Missed chances for Inter in this game. Lazio, they showed a lot of improvement from their Atalanta game. Inzaghi's men definitely studied this very well, and they implemented it, obviously. Big defensive improvements in this game. They played a physical game. Definitely manhandled Inter's defense in this game. Immobile's red card, smacking Vidal, I believe it was well-deserved. Any misconduct during a game should be a red card. I know there's people on social media that said, get rid of that, smack him. This is football. This is calcio. Okay? You want to see fighting, you got MMA, you got boxing, you got American hockey. We don't want no fighting here. All right, but Sensi's red card wasn't really, I believe, was a little bit too harsh. Patrick, the Lazio defender, pretended that he got hit in the face. Sensi, what he did was he just pushed him a little bit. That was definitely not sportsmanship from Patrick. But anyways, Sensi will miss the round 4 game, so will Immobile. They got a game suspension each. Lazio, 4 points in 3 games. Down to the game should be, they kind of erased it. They will hold on to this draw against Inter very tight. They will face Sampdoria in round 4 without Immobile. And they got to score because Sampdoria is a defensive team with the Tinkerman, the Roman Emperor, Claudio Ranieri. Inter, 7 points in 3 games. And in round 4, they have the Milan Derby. They won't have Sensi in the game, but they could cope without him, obviously. Lazio need to find goals against Sampdoria. And let's put it this way, it's in a very improved Sampdoria from the previous 2 games. Before this game, Conte stated that he prefers now, it's his new style, to win 5-4. Clearly in this game, we didn't see that. We saw a 1-1, kind of boring game. So is Conte playing mind games? Or Lazio only stopped Inter's offense today? Because part of this game, Inter's offense was on fire. We'll see against Milan if Conte's new style is to win 5-4 against that young Milan squad in that derby. Parma beats Hellas Verona in a 1-0 win. Kurtic with a goal for Parma. Parma in this game set back a little bit. They set back and they countered Hellas Verona. And that is, I believe, Parma's strength. Gervinho's speed. Give the ball to Gervinho and run, buddy. Gervinho is very fast, even for his age. Verona had to hold possession then. They're very uncomfortable to hold possession and try to penetrate the opposition's midfield and offense. And that was a good strategy for Parma. Parma wins. This is their first win of the game of the season. 3 points in 3 games. After their surprise loss against Bologna 4-1, this was a good win. They faced Udinese next. They yet have to score. And Parma is definitely going to, sit back and start penetrating that offense and counterattack, that defense and counterattacking with Gervinho's speed. Verona instead have 6 points in 3 games. Not bad for Verona. Positive start. They have Genoa next. And Genoa look to rebound. And so do after their humiliating loss against Napoli in round 2. And Verona look to rebound after this 1-0 loss. Pippo Inzaghi's team Benevento beats Bologna 1-0. I give credit to Benevento's defense and their goalie, Montepio, for this win. Montepio, 7 saves today. 7 saves. Bologna had a lot of shots in this game, but their defense, Benevento's defense, definitely was tested, and they able to have a clean sheet. For Benevento, Falque, their new signing, started today in this game. He had an okay game. And then their sub Lapadula came in, and he scored in the 66th minute, giving the game-winning goal. Bologna definitely unlucky in this game. Should have walked away at least with a point somehow. Benevento 6 points in 3 games. Not bad for a promoted side. They have Roma next. And that's going to be an interesting game to see Pippo Inzaghi's philosophy, the serial winner philosophy, and how he does against a team like Roma. Bad. Bologna, 3 points, 3 games. Bad. Besides their surprise win against Parma, they haven't really been too positive. Up next for them is the undefeated Sassuolo team. That's going to be a tough one for them. I'm predicting a Sassuolo win, unless an injury occurs. Right. Milan versus Spezia. Milan win comfortably with a 3-0 win. A double by Rafael Leao, and Theo Hernandez grabs one, and I think Theo Hernandez was definitely the man of the match. Milan have 9 points in 3 games. 3 for 3. Not bad. They haven't conceded a goal yet. Yes, people could say, or it could be said, that they didn't really face great competition, but they don't have their ideal defense. They're injured or whatever, so their reserves are playing defense. Zlatan is out, and also they played 3 Europa League games in the middle of these 3 Serie A games, and they won them all. They qualified for the group stage. Congrats to AC Milan. Yes, they conceded 4 goals in Europa League qualifiers in 3 games, but European football or Europe tournaments are more open. More open plays played, and they didn't have their starting defenders, So it's acceptable to have those 4 goals. Milan have Inter next. A real true test for this young Milan squad. Milan have more games under their belt compared to Inter. Milan played 6 games in competition, and Inter played only 3. That could be an advantage. Milan could be more in form. They're more comfortable with each other and this new team of them. So we'll see if that's going to prove that they do have an advantage. Meanwhile, Spezia, they're playing they're going to get regulated, unfortunately, and we'll see what happens in the next round for them. Torino versus Genoa for round 4, and Napoli versus Juve did not happen because of unfortunate incidents. As we all know, Napoli versus Juve, there's massive confusion, a legal battle, taking out books, dictionaries, ADL taking out his film library and saying all this stuff. It's a legal battle between Agnelli and ADL, Juventus, Napoli, Serie, the government, this and that. Still yet to see, is Juve going to get a 3-0 automatic win, or they're going to replay the game. Either way, it happened in this massive confusion. Juventus went to the stadium. They put out a starting lineup, try to force a forfeit or whatever they did. Well, that's, Napoli versus Juve was the game. Juve versus Napoli was the game of the week, but didn't happen. We had to depend on Inter versus Lazio, and that game was boring with red cards and Lukaku's misses and Conte saying, I prefer a high-scoring game to win, and still 1-1. Here's the standings here, and look at that. Atalanta on top. Atalanta on top. Milan also undefeated, taking the 2 top spots. It's only been 3 games. Is for round 4 is going to be Atalanta, Napoli, high scoring, and the Milan derby. Well, Tifosi, what a round 3. Drama, goals, red cards. Doesn't get any better than this. I'm Sir Angelo. This is Football Italia Network, your Serie entertainment experience. And Forza!